to nonfiction? Who remembers what nonfiction means? Let's ask Ashley C. Please move up from behind there. Everybody track Ashley. What does nonfiction mean? Nonfiction means fiction means made up, right? So you're right. Nonfiction is real because fiction means made up, and the prefix non means not, so it's not made up. Okay? So we're going to read some nonfiction stories here. So think back to when we studied finding the main idea. We used like Scholastic News, and we used Mickey Gets Fit, and some other things too. Think back, after we learned about the main idea, why do you think it's important to know how to find the main idea in a passage? And why it's important to know what details support that main idea? So think about it. Why is it important, Brandon? Why is it important to be able to find the main idea of a passage? Turn and talk. Ashley, are you talking about main idea? One, two, three, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
So what did you talk to your partner about, Kevin? Everybody track Kevin. Why is it important to be able to find the main idea of a passage? To understand the main idea?
Wait, I know.
Or understand what? To understand what the paragraph or the passage was about, right? So, what you want to add on, Deja? Oh yeah. Wait. Kevin didn't finish. I cut him off. Understand what? Exactly. So, what Kevin just said is that when we know the main idea, we understand. Everybody should be tracking me. That means turn your body toward me. When you understand what the main idea is, you understand what the author is trying to teach us, okay? So we understand what the passage is about. So Deja, did you still want to add on to that? Turn and track Deja. Everybody turn your bodies. Wait until everyone's turn. Okay, you may go. Right, so that's I think important to know before you go looking for the main idea, Stephanie, is that you need to understand what you need to understand what you just read, right? And if you understand what you read, Manuel, and you're able to figure out what the main idea is, then that proves that you understand what you read. Okay? So I'm going to tell you a little story. I read an article about 2 different football players yesterday that, and I forget their names. I know one's Champ Bailey, I forget the other guy. But I read that they're retiring from football, and they've been playing football for a really long time. And my boyfriend loves football and knows these players because he's watched football his whole life, right? So I was like, hey, Tony, did you I read this article that was about how Champ Bailey and this other guy are retiring from football, and it's affecting the teams they're on, but I don't really remember any of the other details, but I know it's about these guys retiring. Well, because I told Tony that, he decided that he'd look up the article and read it because he wanted to know more. If I would have told him all of the details, he wouldn't have needed to read the article, and he probably wouldn't have gotten a very good summary from me, because look at me, I don't even remember the other guy's name, right? But I knew the main idea, and it helped him, it made him go, oh, I want to read that. That sounds good. He went and read it, and he's like, oh, thanks for telling me about that article. It was pretty good. Okay? It was important to be able to tell people what we learn from something that we read, okay? And the main idea is one way to prove that we understand what we read, okay? So let's review really quickly. We watched this video once before, so we're going to watch part of it again, just a small part of it. So all eyes should be on the board.
Alright class, I know you're ready for the weekend. Don't forget about your 5-page paper. Make sure that you express your main idea and back it up.
Listen up, let me in here. The hot new thing is the main idea. Supported by the details to keep it all clear. The main idea is the reason that we're all here. Yeah, come on, let me in here. The hot new thing is the main idea. Supported by the details to keep it all clear. The main idea is the reason that we're all here. Have you ever read something and when you got to the end, you didn't get the point though, you didn't understand? Well, let me break it down for the next time you read. There's gonna be 3 basic things you see. The subject, the main idea, and the details. Sort of like the city, the house, the people. The subject is the broad thing that it's about. The main idea. What's that now? It's the main thing the writer wants to say. It's the central point. You get it? Okay? You can also find it in the first couple lines, but it can be anywhere. So go find it. It's supported by specific details. The facts in the sentences, be real. They should add up to make the main idea, kids. They form up like cheerleaders in the pyramid, like I just read an article called Their Facts. And it talks about how they could be brown or black, polo or grizzly or another type. They're all good hunters and they know how to fight. They have big claws so they can catch fish, big sharp teeth that they eat with. And if they want to climb a tree to find something to eat, their super sharp claws are all that they need. See? Now let's break it down.
Okay. So since we've already seen that before, I just wanted to remind you about it. So the main idea is the most important thing. The most important thing in the article. So it's what the article is mostly about. Okay. So how do we find the main idea? Does anyone remember the technique that we used to use to find main idea? Only 3 of you? 4, 5, 6 of you? Okay, I want you to turn and talk really quick and tell your neighbor what we used to use. One, two, three, eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
So now do you all remember what we used to use to find the main idea? Jessica? Turn and track, Jessica. Everybody turn and track your bodies. Evelyn? Tally marks? What do we tally? Words and
Titles. Ideas.
Oh, wait. Everybody, voices off. Deja wanted to remind us of something before we use tally marks. Everybody track Deja. Everybody track Deja. So what do we do first? Right, and if we don't understand it the first time, then what do we do, Deja? And if we don't understand it that time, what do we do, Deja? And if we don't understand it that time, what do we do, Irving? Reread, okay? So it's important to understand first. Manuel, I'm up here now. I want all eyes up here. Voices off, show me stars. Stars. That means this. Now cover yourself up with your jacket. Okay? Uriel. You too. I don't know why you have a pencil on the floor. Okay? So step 1, always reread the passage for understanding. Be sure to use text features. Whoa, what are text features again?
Text features.
What's a text feature?
Problem.
No.
Wait, that's
We're thinking nonfiction. We're thinking real. Ashley? Heading. What else? Photos. Headings.
Bolded words.
Bolded words. Titles. Maps. Glossary. Whoa.
Index.
Okay. Turn it off.
It's not index.
So all of those things in nonfiction help us to understand what the article is mostly about as well. So don't ignore those text features, okay? Also, remember to use your context clues. That's what we worked on the last 2 days. If you don't know what a word means, then use context clues around it to understand what it means. Exactly. So step 2, then we tally up the repeated words and ideas. Okay, so we figure out, all right, what is the author trying to teach us about here? Because nonfiction is about, it's informative writing. The author's trying to teach you about something. So what is the author trying to teach us when we're reading this article? What did I learn at the end, okay? We tally those up, and then after we tally up all the repeated words and ideas, we have to plug some of those words, the most important ones, go have a seat at your desk. The most important ones into the sentence stem. This passage is mostly about how. Remember that? Uriel, what's the sentence stem? Everybody track Uriel. The passage is mostly about how. Okay, so let's try it. I'm going to have this read to you real quick. Sorry for the delay. I had it ready earlier, but I don't have it ready now.
All dried up. People in parts of California are in danger of running out of water. It's one of the many effects of a terrible drought that's been going on in that state for more than a year. Last year was California's driest year on record. Until it starts to rain again, the state's governor, Jerry Brown, has asked people to use less water. Some small towns may need to have water delivered by trucks. The drought is especially bad news for farmers. Without water, many of the grassy fields where their cows graze have turned brown. That means the animals don't have enough to eat. Farmers also haven't been able to plant as many crops as usual on their dried up lands. Some have left their fields completely unplanted. That could affect the rest of the country in a big way. California produces almost half the fruits and vegetables grown in the U.S. Weather experts aren't sure when the drought will end, but Californians are hoping that spring showers arrive soon. Find it.
So, what is this article about?
Water.
Water?
California's drought.
It's at Lely. Everybody tracks at Lely.
I think.
What is this article about? What's the article about? What did we learn? Everybody tracks at Lely. Okay. Yeah, what else did we learn? Kevin? Okay, how California got all dried up, right? Okay, Davelyn, what else did we learn?
We learned that farmers have their fields have that
Okay, so what does that mean for California if the farmers can't plant their crops? What does that mean, Valeria? They don't have as much food. Does that just affect California? What else? What else does it affect? Azul? Track Azul. Yeah, because California produces a lot. So now, okay, now that I think you guys understand what the article's about, I understand what the article's about, I'm going to start tallying up the repeated words and ideas just to make sure that I know what the article is really mostly about. So, and I can't forget to look at my text features too. I've got this picture here with a caption, a dried up part of Folsom Lake in Northern California. I've got some bolded words. So here we go. So the title, All Dried Up. Pretty awesome. So I'm going to put all dried up. And I'm going to do at least 10, but it's like 1,000 million, right? Okay. People in parts of California, well, I read this already, so I know California is a big thing. So I'm going to put California, okay, are in danger of running out of water.
Danger.
Danger. I think danger is a common idea. So
Water is water.
okay. But then running out of water, that's kind of a similar idea to all dried up, right? Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
So I'm going to put all dried up with this one, or running out of water with this one. So running out of water. Okay. Slash all dried up. So I'm going to do another one. Okay. It's one of the many effects of a terrible drought. I know it's about